In order to understand the universe, you must explore the universe. And that's the motivation to accelerate humanity's future in understanding the universe and extending the light of consciousness to the stars.
Every existing fab on Earth combined is nowhere near enough. The choice is simple. You build a Terafab, or you do not have the chips. Here's a simple napkin math for you. Assume 11 million robots a year. If you thought that there were no next steps, Elon has already thought about it. I want to leave you with this idea: a Mars moon drive. Hi, whether you love Tesla or hate Tesla, whether you love Elon or cannot stand him, whether you own the stock or you've decided you never will, listen carefully. Because 10 or 15 years from now, these will feel like humanity altering events. Something is being built that changes the scale at which intelligence can exist in the physical world. That's why I'm making this video, to show you what Tesla and SpaceX are actually attempting with Terafab. For years, the biggest constraint on AI was not ideas, it was chips. The world simply could not make enough advanced silicon fast enough. The numbers on your screen: 100 million robots, millions of robotaxis, a terawatt of chips. These numbers sound insane. Now the manufacturing plan is starting to catch up. For a long time, the skepticism was rational. The chips required for that scale simply did not exist. Listen to how Elon explains the scale of the problem.
The current output of AI compute is roughly 20 gigawatts per year. This chart explains why we need to build the Terafab. Because all of the rest of the output from Earth is about 2% of what we need. So if you add up all the fabs on Earth combined, they're only about 2% of what we need for the terawatt project, or Terafab project. So, we certainly want our existing supply chain to be clear. We're very grateful to our existing supply chain, to Samsung, TSMC, Micron, and others. And we would like them to expand as quickly as they can, and we will buy all of their chips. I have said these exact words to them. But there's a maximum rate at which they're comfortable expanding, but that rate is much less than we would like. And so we either build the Terafab or we don't have the chips. And we need the chips, so we're going to build the Terafab.
That is the core problem. Every existing fab on Earth combined is nowhere near enough. The choice is simple. You build a Terafab, or you do not have the chips. Once that reality was clear, the decision was obvious. If the chips do not exist at the required scale, you build them. With that in mind, in March 26, Terafab was announced. It was basically a prototype learning fab at Giga, Texas. And then in August, a couple of days earlier, at Grimes County, with a $16.8 billion investment first phase, they announced a full phase 100 million plus square feet of fab plant with an ambition to create 1 terawatt of compute. This is not a normal fab. Logic, memory, packaging, testing, all inside one system. Here's the part people miss. Listen to what they are putting inside one building, straight from Elon.
So in the advanced technology fab, we will have all of the equipment necessary to make a chip of any kind, logical memory, and we will also have all of the equipment necessary to make the lithography masks. So in a single building, we can create a lithography mask, make the chip, test the chip, make another mask, and have an incredibly fast recursive loop for improving the chip design. To the best of my knowledge, this doesn't exist anywhere in the world, where you've got everything necessary to build logic, memory, and do packaging, and test it, and then do the masks, improve the masks, and just keep looping it, which you can do if you've got that fast iteration loop. That I can't emphasize enough the importance of being able to make a chip, test it, and then change the design, do another one, and have that in a single building. I think that our recursive improvement with that situation is probably an order of magnitude better than anything else in the world.
And that is the real bet. Elon didn't just call it big. It is the largest and most valuable building on Earth by far when ready. People are already amazed by the size of Giga Texas. 1 terawatt of compute does not register anything on our mind. And that's why this comparison. Look how tiny it looks next to what's being proposed. Terafab is roughly 10 times bigger. And at that scale, the harder problem is no longer making the chip. The hard problem is moving everything without slowing down. And at that size, movement itself is engineering. In a normal supply chain, the last mile is outside. Here, the last mile that's being proposed is inside the factory. So, your materials, wafers, tools, people, robots, everything has to flow or the whole system stalls. This is the key shift. Terafab is not a factory, it's a system. Make the chip, improve the chip, keep the loop moving, all inside one environment. I've heard a lot of people claim if you solve the chip supply, the bottleneck disappears. I don't think so. The bottleneck simply moves. Think about it. From where can we get the chips? The question becomes, can we keep the factory flowing at that speed? That's the new constraint. If there is any one company that can make this work, it's Tesla. Think about their unusual advantage, which starts to matter now. They have full self-driving vehicles. These vehicles are nothing but robots on wheels, which understand space and motion. And then they're building the Optimus robot, which is basically being built for repetitive manual tasks, and they can move things around. And then look at their factory automation, which are nothing but systems which are present to remove the delay. And then the same speed and DNA is present in SpaceX, which it uses to handle unusual pressure. At terafab scale, the intelligence that they are building could become how the factory runs itself. Let's talk about something very interesting. Let's talk about the earning potential for SpaceX and Tesla resulting from Terafab. Once the silicon exists at scale, the robot story becomes very real. The space data centers can exist in space. Long-term selling points for robots could be roughly between $20,000 to $25,000, and Elon has confirmed that on several occasions. The hardware gross potential profit could be hundreds of billions of dollars. And that is only the hardware. On top of that comes the ability to sell service and software. At that extreme volume, this stops looking like a science fiction project and starts looking like a new industrial category. And if you're still not convinced, here's a simple napkin math for you. Assume 11 million robots a year. How did I get that number? 1 million from the Fremont factory, another 10 million robots from the Texas factory that they've announced. If they sell them all, and I believe that they will, at roughly $7,000 of profit each, that translates to $77 billion in annual gross profit. Give it a 75 times multiple, and that translates to $5.7 trillion of additional market cap, or about $1,444 per additional stock price. But who wants to sell the robot when you can lease them out on a subscription, a recurring revenue stream? Markets love that. Look at the napkin math again. If they lease them at just mere $10 a day, that translates to $40 billion a year. And because lease is recurring, that number keeps growing year as more robots go out. This is not a forecast. It's just a way to feel the impact of Terafab on these companies. None of this is easy. Capital intensity is extreme. Yields have to work. Tools have to arrive on time. Logistics have to flow. The hard question is no longer can they announce the fab. The hard question is can the system actually move at that scale and speed? This was never only about chips. Chips are just the starting point. Chips enable robots. They enable self driving machines. They enable factories that can improve themselves. They enable compute that can leave for orbit. Look deeper and you will see these four layers. Energy. Without power, nothing scales. Transportation. Moving things determine how fast your systems can scale. Manufacturing. It is basically turning ideas into physical objects at scale. And then intelligence. AI that decides what the next generation machines can do. These are the real livers of a civilization. And that's why at the start I had said it is a humanity altering event. Whether you're an investor in Elon's companies or not, Terafab is already one of the largest industrial bets on the planet. But why stop at Terafab? If you thought that there were no next steps, Elon has already thought about it. I want to leave you with this idea: a Mars moon drive. A way to move mass off the Earth more than you could ever from Earth. Yes, the moon. That is the next step beyond Terafab. If this video helped you see the scale, consider liking it. Subscribe if you want more such breakdowns. Share it with someone whom you think would enjoy this. And follow us on X at Smart Tech Money. And this is what's next from Elon. And I'll see you on the next one.